Okay, so we're outside. So I'll just go over here. So this is actually my cold frame, which has got some baby lettuce in there. But the birds have had a good old attack of this, so it's needs sorting out. So that's the cold frame, and there's quite a nice area here, so I'm thinking about doing some other stuff later with that one. And I went shopping actually, and I bought a damson tree which is going to be planted at some point, so I need to get that into a space. So here I have laid cardboard. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk down here, and then this is my pathway, it's a communal pathway, and then I'm just going to literally show you the length and run of the bed plot, so you can actually see the whole thing. It might be better. So basically this is my full plot, so you can see. So I've got two halves here. So here I have 4 beds on this side, and then I have my 2 compost bins, which I've actually moved because they were over there, and that space just behind the bed was not being utilised, and I did have my potatoes there, but now I've decided to put the compost bins there. So I'm having a little bit of a rejig, so that might change again. And then I have the other side of the plot. I have 2 main beds, and then I have this here is actually a wild flower garden, so I wanted to kind of get some, because we have bees on the plot, so I wanted to use the bees in here to come and pollinate. So I put some wildflowers in there, which was really good, but I don't think it was as successful as I would have liked it to have been, because it was my first one. And then this is another kind of makeshift bed, which ended up being where I kept my pumpkins for this year, because I didn't have any extra space, so I let them run across this side. And if I come over here, and as you can see, it's very boggy. So lucky I've got my Wellington boots on, splashing around. So this is my composting area, which is an absolute mess. There's some compost there which was already breaking down, and looks like a bit of plastic on there, so we take that off. And yeah, so that is going to be all resorted and replanned, and I might move it. As I said, what I've done is I've actually put a plan together, and as you can see here is very, very boggy. It's quite waterlogged. And then I've got my fruit bushes. So this is my fruit bush here, this is my neighbour next door, and his apple trees, which are lovely. And then obviously at the back here is a bit of a dumping ground for bits of wood, and we fitted a greenhouse in, so that obviously all the glass and everything that was left over was kind of conveying stuff behind here, so that needs to be resorted. So it's a 5-pole plot, and I have a very large 12-foot by 6-foot greenhouse that I acquired from a very nice couple who decided they didn't want it anymore, which was wonderful. This is actually my bench area, and then I kind of do a bit of potting there, and this is like the little grass area, which is quite nice when it's not wet. and then I have my pear tree, which is, I put it on when I first moved in, so that's now coming into its fourth year. So this will be its fourth year. So I haven't actually had any pears yet because it was a very, very small twig almost. So now it's grown into something. Hopefully this year I should get something from there. So they were flowering. And then this is what I use for some flowers as well. So I have a rose bush there. And then here it's back to where the shed is again. And then I'm probably going to do some fruiting stuff around there. And then this is my greenhouse. And as you can see, it's quite a lovely greenhouse actually. I was quite lucky with this. So I got concrete in there, and then all the beds. So I do all my sorting out in here, and I will do all my potting and everything in here. So get all my seeds ready. So that's something that's going to be happening soon, and I will show you those as well, what I'll be doing, what I'll be getting prepared. Some soil, and some bits of equipment, and I do actually have another shed with more tools, which is what I'm borrowing somebody else's shed for those odd bits and messy bits. And then this is the side, which I've covered with cardboard to mulch down and to dye back the grass because it was quite grassy, and I really want to utilise this area for some other planting. I'm not really sure what I want to do yet, but so I thought I'd prepare that. So always a good tip is to have cardboard, and try and make sure you can get as much of that, because it's always handy and it's great for, it saves you money as well because you don't have to get all that plastic stuff. Here obviously my brassicas are all finishing. They look very sad. I think there's some cabbages there which I probably could salvage off, so I need to kind of get rid of those. The roots are good to leave in the ground because they add back some nutrients into the soil. So again, another brassica, and then I've got a strawberry bed here, which needs lots of cleaning up. And then these ones, those three basically are very clear. There's rhubarb. In fact, I've got brassica. This is Italian kale, which is absolutely delicious, and of course the birds absolutely love it. So they've had a great old feast in there. And then obviously I've got my very, very small, looks like it's starting to shoot, got rhubarb plant. So you've got a little bit coming up there. It's quite nice when that comes up, and that gets really big. So wonderful for rhubarb. So that's it. As you can see, lots of puddles, lots of water, so I won't be doing anything in there. And there's my lovely little shed, my little baby shed. So that's it for now, and I will come back again and talk you through some more bits. So I'll see you in a moment. I think I'm going to put the kettle on, go and make a cup of tea.